Mountain, check. Bay haben wir erreicht. Und da vorne ist das Ship, das uns hoffentlich zur norwegischen Station bringen kann. Wir sind zurück in South of the Circle.
Aber wir wissen irgendwie auch, dass das nicht funktionieren wird, dieser Plan.
Gucken, ja, bisher lief es nicht ganz so gut und wir kriegen langsam Wahnvorstellungen. Das hat sich jetzt bestätigt in der letzten Folge gewissermaßen, ne? Dass wir da, dass er das ja selber einmal thematisieren.
Pete, pay attention, heading the bloody clouds again. That's your problem. Pick up the oars and row like I told you. Faster than that, son. I want to keep them both in time.
Gut, kann man, glaube ich, nicht wirklich was tun, ne?
Doing my best.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. And try and keep your weight in the middle, too. You don't want to tip us in. What a wonderful start to the holiday that would be.
Do you want to help?
No, this is a test of your listening, son, and trying to work things out for yourself. How would you learn if I did everything for you, eh?
I didn't mean do it all, just take an oar maybe.
Well, say I did, and you could only work one oar, then where would we be? We'd be going round in circles. Oh, now, look, there's a strong current coming up. It's a good test, son. Now, remember what I taught you, and this won't be a problem. Keep her straight and true. Strong arms. I said strong. No!
Trying.
That side! Harder on the port side!
Help!
Jesus, Pete, that one!
Oh Mann, ey.
Nicht ganz sicher, ob ich das
Oh,
tun
come on,
kann.
give it here! Give it here! Good, you get back there, I'll do it.
Ich dachte, sie kennt ihn jetzt.
War knapp.
Aber ich finde Rudern wirklich auch schwer.
Also, den kennt er doch nicht so schnell. Zumindest nicht hier.
Knew you weren't made for this!
Maybe you're right.
Ja, du kommst auch nicht schnell voran, du dummer Depp.
Come on. Prove you can go the rest of the way. Current's not as strong now. Here you go. I have done my best, Peter. Whatever you do in life, you can't expect anyone to do things for you. My experience. I won't always be here to help.
Er meint es in dem Moment hier
There'll
gerade
come a
auch echt
time
gut.
when you've got to prove you can do something by yourself.
Oh, hey.
Ahoy! Good row, Captain Hamilton.
Oh, get me away from this thing. It looks calm out there, but it's rougher than you think.
Oh, it does look nice and calm, you're right.
It's the current. Can't you see it?
It's very nasty ripples. It's practically a storm surge.
I think if the wind had been in another direction...
Oh, come here. Don't you know me at all by now? Come on, let's walk.
All right. Thank you.
Well, I've got used to being this relaxed. What's it going to be like getting back to college, having to smarten ourselves up?
Hab's auch.
I really like you like this. It's nice. Remember when we met on that train and you're so self-conscious about your tie?
Sie ändert sich.
Ja.
Oh, I remember. Seems silly now, eh?
Sie, ne?
Ja.
You were wearing that lovely sweater you got on now, weren't you?
Not this. Well, I only bought it recently.
Damn.
It's a new colour for me.
Whoopsie.
My mistake. My memory must be playing tricks on me.
Ah, strange.
Ich hoffe, wir streiten uns nicht
So.
wegen der Handlung.
Do you want the good news?
Hm.
Oh no, it means there's bad news too, I'll bet.
None at all. While you're out, I checked with the hotel and they said we could stay another night. And I thought, why not? Extend this holiday as long as we can. Extend the celebration.
Celebration?
Oh, you know, the summer of work. The fact that it's practically all done now, and perhaps we could celebrate us too.
Us? Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Mr. Absolutely Hamilton.
Oh, stop it, I don't say it like that.
You do, and that's fine.
Ready to go home soon?
Not in the slightest. Oh, so pretty. Oh, look at these houses. Oh, if I had found someone I could row with, perhaps I could be living here.
Hey, I can row.
Well, that's good, because I think I might be in love.
Oh? Me too.
Oh, those two houses up on the cliff, look. Oh, which one should we have, the red or the blue?
Ja.
Ich möchte das Blaue.
It's tricky.
Ja.
Why not both?
Oh, go on, pick one.
Blue.
Okay. Blue.
My choice exactly.
Oh, almost like I knew what you were going to say.
Well, either house looks big enough for me. Maybe more than me one day.
Schon, oder? Familie?
Ja.
Family.
Well, like I said, one day.
What about your work? Wouldn't you want to finish that first?
Well, finish work before I settle down, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I love my work. You know I do. I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I don't see why it has to be one or the other. Would you give up work to have children?
I would. I really would.
Well, I think the thing is, I wouldn't expect a man to give it all up. Not if he really loved his work. So why does the rest of the world think that we should give it all up? I keep thinking about all these bright young women I'm teaching, and I'm scared. I'm scared that despite all they've achieved, despite the fact that they're walking out into the world with a degree from Cambridge, the first thing they'll be asked is, how fast can you type?
Don't be so pessimistic.
It's not pessimism, I see it. Even the jobs they get, they're not expected to keep once they've had children. All it needs is people to stand up to it.
No, you're right. I think women have every right to state their claim.
Not a woman this time. Women have been making a stand, throwing themselves under horses since the suffragettes. We need men to start fighting for it.
You can count on me.
I hope you do make a stand. Won't become part of all that. It's not easy, you know. A lot of people are still living in the dark ages about all this. Your professor, for one, I'll bet.
I think you're probably right there.
He doesn't know about any of this, does he?
This work?
Exactly. The work we've done. You will tell him, won't you?
Ja, wir sagen es ihm.
Ja, klar.
Of course I will. I'll go straight to his office as soon as we're back.
You promised me that.
Promise you that.
Und wenn das Spiel es nicht zulassen würde, würde ich es hassen. Jetzt muss man es auch zulassen können, dass wir...
Ja, mal gucken, ob es da Wege gibt.
This is good, isn't it?
It is.
Oh boy. SS Lumi.
Lumi, Plumi, Dumi. Ich hab irgendwas gesagt. Wie so ein kleines Kind. Ist natürlich irgendwie auch verlassen.
Ja, schöne Tür.
Hat eine Haustür, geil.
Wieso aber so ein dickes Ding steuern?
marvelous
Oh,
to
jetzt
see you
kommt's.
do come in.
Jetzt kommt's.
Take a seat. I have to say, I'm delighted.
Delighted? Well, that's wonderful to hear.
I must say it's very impressive.
You think so? Thank you.
Not at all. It's your work. I think the direction you took it gave it something of real value. Well, as I say, quite apart from the climate side of things, the method you developed to track radiation, I can see it having far-reaching implications, and not just in your own field. It's marvelous.
I'm very proud of it, yes.
First-rate piece of work, Peter. First-rate. This other name on here, Dr. Clara McKirrick, I presume we could drop that.
Nein, ne?
Drop it. Why would I do that?
Oh, well, I understand you probably had some little research assistants, but, well, we all have secretaries. we just don't usually put the name on the front cover of the paper.
Yeah. Clara did more than a little research.
Really? Oh, well, I see. Tell me, have you seen your friend Joseph recently, Samuel?
I have.
Doing so well in their new positions. I would dearly love to see the same for you, Peter. And more for you, in fact.
Well, thank you.
It will be so well deserved after all these years, especially after the risk I took.
Er will uns schön reinlegen.
Und gleich kommt der Catch.
A boy from a grammar school, first in his family to make it to university, you know what I'm saying. It's been really wonderful to give you this opportunity. I would just hate you to throw it away by misattributing your own hard work, that's all, for whatever reasons you might have.
I appreciate your concern, but Clara is responsible for the work on this too.
Well, as I say, it really is very good, and I'm not the only one who thinks so.
You've given it to someone else already.
I knew a few who I thought might be interested. I thought you'd be pleased. In fact, I think you might want to prepare yourself for being the center of attention for a little while. I'm sure you would be able to cope, but I think it's perhaps not quite the sort of thing you'd like to foist on a young woman.
Jetzt wird er so kommen, ey.
Whatever it is, I'm sure Clara could handle it.
With this name on here, there is a good chance it will cause problems.
I'm sure I could handle them.
This isn't all about you, I'm afraid. There could be problems for everyone. Clara was close with Molly Shannon, wasn't she? The one suspected of being a communist spy.
Was sage ich nicht? Nein.
I'm afraid I don't know.
Nee, ach shit. Anders.
Nee, nicht nein.
Nee, ich
How
dachte.
close they were
Nee, ich wollte es halt dagegen sprechen.
Naja, aber es hieß,
Clara
war
joined
er
Molly
sehr
Nur
at the
verdächtigt.
British protest march, I hear.
People are saying Clara's a spy now.
Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's started digging. Yet. A lot of people, very important people, believe you are either with this country or against it. Some of the benefactors of this college, for example. My father used to call this university one of the greatest contributions Britain has made to the world. I would agree with that. Wouldn't you?
One of the greatest. Really? Well, it does some great work.
It does. I'd hate to be the one to undermine it. The affair with this Cambridge 4 business has been bad enough. We can't change the past, Peter. But we can learn from it. Before we fool ourselves into remembering it too kindly. Now, with this name on here, the associations one might make, you see what I'm saying?
I see. But I really think her name should stay.
Good God, Peter, I am trying to make you understand something. This is precisely the way the rot sets in. It's the slow knife. Members of this university were recruited to spy for the Soviet Union 10 years ago. Now, members of this university are demanding we lay down our weapons. The only defense we have against the very same foreign power. What happens in 10 years' time? And what happens to the integrity of this college in 10 years? If you share your work on a whim with a girl you've taken a fancy to. And what happens 10 years after that? One cannot survive by making oneself vulnerable. That is why this university is still here. That is why I am still here. I hope you understand how much I care about your success.
Ja, aber aus eigenen Gründen nur.
It's so common for work to fade into obscurity after it's published. It would be a shame if yours were denied my full-throated support, especially after so many years.
I've spent years working on this.
I cannot make your decisions for you, Peter. By all means, publish with Clara as a co-author if you're feeling generous, but if you do, you'll have to take your chances. It would be difficult for me to bring to bear any influence I have. By way of illustration, I've an address in Whitehall to give you.
Thank you.
Afraid I can't tell you much more now, but he's a good man. Cambridge man. And you may find there's one more reason to leave Clara out of things. I'm sure things will become clear soon.
I think you've made things very clear.
Well, let me know what you decide. Just knock any time.
Das war mal ein veritables Arschloch. Oh, nicht einschlafen.
Natürlich hoffen wir, dass sie keine Spionin ist.
Glaube ich auch nicht. Ich glaube, er ist einfach nur ein
Glaube ich auch.
frauenverachtendes Arschloch.
Ja. Aber es wäre ein krasser Twist.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Da oben brennt's.
Oh ja. Alles gesehen.
Someone's there.
Oh ja. Das spitzt sich zu. Aber man hat nicht erkannt, was auf dem Flugzeug für Symbole waren, oder? Ist das
Ich
richtig?
habe das Rote Kreuz, dachte ich, war drauf.
Okay.
Wasserflugzeug.
Okay, wow. Es zieht an. Scheiße, wir müssen den ganzen Weg laufen, aber nein.
Ja, aber ich glaube, es würde auch zu lange dauern sonst.
Ja, ja. Gut. Nicht gut.
No, you can't be leaving. Hey! Over here! Come back! Hey!
Nein. Doch, ein Basketball wahrscheinlich.
Peter.
Oh, fuck. Gräber.
Aber die Szene war geil gemacht.
Ja. Sehr cineastisch.
wärst du nicht eingeschlafen.
Was will
Aber
man
vielleicht
das?
sind die strahlungsverseucht hier.
Ja, das ist echt die Frage, ne? Dieses Mysterium interessiert mich jetzt natürlich schon was, ja. Was wir 2 Geschichten so nebeneinander erzählt werden. Wo wir jetzt eintreten? Ah, bei ihm schon wieder.
Peter, marvelous to see you. You've come at the right time. Even at 37 before 4. Terrible state of affairs.
Ah, kennen wir schon.
Anyway, you said you wanted to see me about something? Something you wanted to let me know.
Clara came up with a big idea too. And I should be there.
What can I say? I respect your decision. I do admire a man who knows his own mind.
Huh.
Da steht, diesmal liest du vor. Zum Horsen.
Zum Morsen Geheim.
Du kannst immer nach links und rechts, ne?
Ja.
Ja. Mhm.
Von Jay Schwartz, US-Vermessungsteam Antarktis, stationiert in Station der Norweger. SOS. Hauptroute nach Erdrutsch eingestürzt. Versucht Norwegern mit meinen medizinischen Kenntnissen zu helfen.
Ah ja.
Ein Mann noch verletzt, 2 Tote, vermute Aktivität der Sowjets. Als Schiff hinter dem Berg nutzlos verlassen. Sendet bitte Schiff, helft mir. Und mit diesem Schiff sind sie gerade weggefahren, oder?
Dann sende doch schnell. Selber. Ich meine, noch ist nichts so weit weg.
Ist hier noch was? Ne. Oh, komm ich nie drin. Oh Gott. Ja? Ich komme halt wirklich nicht hier zu. Oh Gott.
Peter, bitte stimmt nicht.
Oh Gott, das kann nicht in alle Richtungen gehen hier, ne?
Dr. Hamilton. Peter. How do you do? So good to meet you.
How do you do?
Excuse me, I won't be a moment. Still 3 o'clock, yes? Oh, no need to reschedule. This won't take long. Should be very quick. Right then, please do take a seat. Delighted you could make it to London. I do hope you get the time to enjoy it a little too, considering how busy you've been recently.
Thank you. I'll try to.
Good, do. Anyway, I imagine you're wondering why we asked you here. Well, it can't have surprised you that your field of study has been of increasing interest to us, especially since the war.
Since the war? I didn't know that.
Oh, of course. The paper is going very well, I hear.
Well, it is now, thank you.
Oh, yes, your professor, John Hargreaves, passed us a copy. And it's impressive, the amount of information you've managed to gather. Although I imagine the process of gathering it was rather difficult on your limited budget.
You know all about it, it seems.
As I said, we were most impressed and wanted to make you an offer. Reward, even.
What kind of offer?
Well, you've no doubt taken your budget to its limits by now. What would you say if I could guarantee you a practically unlimited budget for further study? Ensure you had the best equipment, like the Americans. Take you right to the heart of things.
The heart of things?
I believe you traced the source of the radiation back to Antarctica, didn't you?
Well, it was me and someone else.
I see. Well, whatever the details, I'd say that warrants further study on location, wouldn't you?
Das finden wir natürlich tierisch geil.
Ja, erstmal.
We could place you with the Falkland Islands Dependency Survey working in Antarctica, scientist bods. Happy amateurs, very passionate like yourself. Of course, you'd probably have to sort a few things out with the other name we saw on the paper before you go. I hope that wouldn't be too difficult, considering what's on offer.
The other name, Clara, you mean?
Lovely name. Probably for the best she wouldn't be able to go. Oh, not my say-so, I'm afraid. It's run a bit like the army down there. No women allowed.
I'm not sure I like the idea.
I can assure you this is bigger than any one person.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what this is yet.
I see. Well, you signed those papers on your way in earlier, so I'm at liberty to tell you a little more. Things in the Antarctic, they've been a little strained recently. Lots of vested interests, territorial claims overlapping. Some sides wanting to secure the resources under the ground. Now, this kind of thing has been going on for decades, of course.
What kind of thing?
Oh, the Germans were flying over there, dropping swastikas in big circles. Before the war, that is. All a bit ridiculous, really. Now, I'm afraid it's the Soviets we've got to contend with. Bit of a royal mess, if you ask me. Still, we're trying to work with them.
Work with them? May I ask how?
You may. It should all be in everyone's interest, you see. Every country signed up to something called the Antarctic Treaty. All a rather clever bit of politicking that happened behind the scenes a few years ago. Set up to ensure that Antarctica is used for strictly peaceful purposes. No weapons are to be used. No one can make any future claims on the land. Now, if it sticks, everyone will be frightfully happy. Every side content that they've staked their claim. No more aggression, let's say.
Sounds sensible.
You'd have thought so. We've managed to placate the Soviets so far. This is all strictly confidential, but the sounds coming from Whitehall are not good. We're rather worried that it might all fall through.
I'm sure you are, but how does this affect me?
Well, in addition to the climate science you'd be able to do, tracking the radiation in the clouds and so forth, we'd like you to inform us of any other sources of radiation out there, what the readings are. If there are any bombs being set off on the continent, it's important that we know as much as we can about them. We don't know what the Soviets might do next. You'd be using the very best equipment, as I said. Useful for your career. Useful for us.
This is still climate science, yes?
Absolutely right. The less we're involved, the better, really. But as I say, if you can help us in this small way, it would certainly help that career of yours.
How can you help, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, after speaking with a few people, Professor Hargreaves, for example, I'm sure that whatever your academic ambitions, after working on something as important as this, you'd have no trouble progressing. And if nothing else, think of the adventure of it. What a reward it would be for all your hard work.
Ich meine, man könnte das Paper zusammen veröffentlichen und trotzdem mit ihr sprechen und alleine gehen. Also das heißt ja nicht, dass sie mitkommen will.
I'll consider it.
Please do. Sorry, I've got a meeting in Westminster in 20 minutes. We'll have to cut this short. It's been very good to meet you. Do let me know.
Naja, sie war sehr eindeutig, dass sie nicht auf dem Paper haben wollen.
Ja, ich weiß,
And
aber
if this Clara thing feels like a sticking point, all I can say is sometimes we all have to answer to something greater than ourselves. Why not think of it as an opportunity for you and to do what's right?
I'm really not sure about this.
Take your time. Women come and go. This is for your country.
ich meine, wir sind im Endeffekt in der Antarktis, also.
Ja, ist interessant, aber wir haben die Entscheidung getroffen, wir wissen nicht unter welchen Bedingungen.
Ja, vielleicht haben wir auch mit ihr gesprochen, das wäre ja auch eine Möglichkeit.
Ja gut, aber was sagt sie? Ne? Selbst wenn sie, ja, klar, gar kein Problem, geht du nur, hätte sie das ja auch nicht gesagt, jetzt um ihretwillen.
Wobei ich glaube, also ich glaube, auf dem Paper will sie sein, aber das heißt ja längst nicht, dass sie...
Aber
also,
du wirst dich
es
doch
hat
trotzdem verraten fühlen, wenn er dann das annimmt, das Angebot.
Würdest du, ich weiß nicht.
Absolut an ihrer Stelle.
Ich weiß nicht, da können wir vielleicht in der, was eine gute Gelegenheit, gerade kurz mal drüber diskutieren,
Ja.
weil ich glaube nämlich, die haben zusammen dieses Ding ja gemacht, ne? Und
Ja.
die veröffentlichen das zusammen.
Ja.
So, wenn das soweit käme. Ich wäre total
Ja.
angepisst, wenn ich sie wäre, wenn sie es nicht zusammen veröffentlichen. Aber er hat ja nie gesagt, dass er jetzt für immer mit ihr weiterforscht.
Ja, aber sie haben zusammen geforscht. Er hat ihren Namen mit auf das Paper gesetzt und jetzt sagt sein Professor, sagt die Universität, sagt es der Geheimdienst, denke ich mal war das, nehmen den Namen darunter, sonst können
Genau,
wir
aber es geht
nicht
jetzt gerade
weiterhelfen.
kurz nicht um den Namen. Es geht nur um, wenn nur er in die Arktis durfte. Ihr Name
Ja.
steht immer noch auf dem Papier,
Ja.
dann wäre es doch trotzdem okay.
Damit könnte ich auch leben.
Das
aber,
meinte ich gerade.
Aber das Angebot gibt es ja nicht.
Ja, ich weiß, aber das wäre eine Lösung,
Das
über die man reden könnte. Und
klar,
dann hat sie eigentlich auch nicht pisst zu sein, was
kann
einer
man
mit dem anderen...
drüber reden, aber es steht ja überhaupt nicht auf dem...
Ja, ich weiß, aber ich
gibt
wollte
ja
es
nicht
nur
die Option.
klarstellen, dass das
Ja.
die Option wäre, die ich,
Ja,
wenn ich sie wäre, okay fände.
Also, Abschrift einer erhaltenen Nachricht vom US-Militärattaché Antarktik-Kommunikation.
Norweger über den Notfall informiert. Norwegische Marine entsendet Schwesternschiff zur Rettung. Ausschau nach Aufklärungsflugzeug halten. Rendezvous mit Landungsboot um 18 Uhr. Trage für Verletzten bauen, um zum Landeplatz zu transportieren. Okay.
Noch was? Ja. So, genau das habe ich doch gesehen, oder? Ja. Er hängt hier gerade so ein bisschen an der... Ah ja. Okay. Aber ich weiß irgendwie... Es ist ganz schwer, die Figur dann wieder so rumzu...
Es soll wahrscheinlich mit Absicht sein, damit du merkst, wie schlecht es ihm
Also
geht.
sie ist extrem clunky, wie sie sich steuert, deswegen brauche ich erstmal eine kleine Pause. Ich weiß nicht, wie es euch geht, aber dann gucken wir uns hier den Strand an und finden vielleicht doch noch einen Weg.
Strand.
Technisch gesehen ist es ein Strand, oder?
Bin mir nicht sicher.
Guckt, Hausaufgaben, alle Definitionen für Strand raussuchen. Wir sehen das in der nächsten Episode.
Bis dann.